Minimum payment traps look like they are helping you, but they quietly stretch your debt and keep your money stuck. Here you will learn how 3 hidden loops have held you back, and how small changes can finally make your card feel manageable and calm. Minimum payments are built to keep you in debt for years, not months. You see a small number on your credit card bill that says minimum payment, and your brain relaxes. You think, okay, I can manage that. It feels like the card company is helping you. But in reality, that tiny payment mostly feeds the interest, and only a little bit goes to the real debt. Imagine trying to empty a bathtub with a spoon while the tap is still dripping. You are technically making progress, but so slowly that it barely matters. Month after month, the balance hardly moves, so you keep the card around, and the debt becomes part of the background of your life. A simple fix is to flip the rule in your head. First, look at the line on your statement that shows how long it takes to clear the card with only minimum payments. Let that number shock you on purpose. Second, choose a new rule like always pay at least double the minimum, or always pay a fixed amount that is higher than the minimum. Third, if that feels too big right now, increase your payment by a small amount each month until it feels normal. When you treat the minimum as the floor, not the goal, you start to see your balance finally move down, instead of following you for years. Thinking the minimum is safe makes overspending feel harmless. Minimum payments can trick your brain into thinking any amount on this card is fine, because the monthly bill will always stay small, so you tap for small things without worry. A coffee here, a takeaway there, a few online orders that feel tiny. Each time you think it is only a few more dollars on the card, and the payment will barely change. It is like stacking feathers on a shelf. One feather is nothing, but over time, the shelf bends under the total weight. The trap is that you focus on the low monthly minimum instead of the big total that is growing in the background. To break this cycle, you can change what your brain looks at. First, before you tap, ask one quick question. How much will this new spend add to my total debt? Not just my monthly payment. Second, imagine that every new swipe is a small chain you are adding to your ankle that you will carry next month. Third, set a simple rule, such as no new card spending if I cannot pay it off in full within 2 months. When you start judging card purchases by the total debt they create, instead of the tiny minimum payment, you naturally spend less and keep more of your money for yourself. Believing you will fix it later lets the debt snowball quietly. Another trap is the quiet promise you make to yourself. I will just pay the minimum now and sort this out when life is less stressful. Future you will handle it. The problem is that future you never feels as rich or as free as you imagine. New expenses always show up, and interest keeps growing in the background. It is like rolling a small snowball down a hill and telling yourself you will stop it halfway. By the time you look again, it is big, heavy, and harder to control. To break this pattern, you can give future you real help instead of more work. First, pick one card and decide on a simple target, such as I want this gone in 12 months. Second, use an online calculator or a note on paper to see how much you need to pay each month to hit that target, and set that amount as an automatic payment if you can. Third, whenever extra money comes in like a bonus or small side income, send a slice of it to that card on purpose, instead of letting it disappear. When you stop waiting for a perfect moment and give your debt a clear plan and timeline, you feel less trapped and you move towards real financial breathing room. For more simple lessons on how money works, watch more of our videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.